Welcome, welcome. I'm excited you're all here. Thank you for attending. My name is Heike, and I'm a financial coach, as Paul said. And thank you, Paul, for inspiring us this morning so far, and hope it just gets better from here. If I ask you, have you thought in the past that if you could just double your salary, you'd be fine?
Every month.
Every month. Can I just tell you, if you can't handle a little, you can't handle a lot. That's why a lot of lotto winners and Powerball winners are bankrupt within a year or 2 or 3 because they don't know how to handle money. And that's a fact. And that's why we need strong foundations for our money. And that's why I'm here. So you don't need a 6-figure salary to feel secure. You just need good, strong foundations. About me, I have been retrenched. Then I was retrenched and divorced in the same year. And then, yes, retrenchment number 3. That's when I decided I need to look after myself. Companies don't do that for you. You're dispensable. It's easy to get rid of people. So that's why I became a financial coach, to help people who were in the same position as me get ahead in life and just manage their money better. And in South Africa, we are all resilient. We have potholes. We have traffic lights that are out. We have random shootings. We have load shedding. Everything goes wrong for us, but yet we're still smiling and we're still building our future, right? Now, this book, I love this book. If ever you need a good book, go to the library, take it out or buy it. It's really worth your time. And Morgan Housel says, 2 topics that impact everybody, whether you like it or not, is your health and your money. You can't get away from it whether you try to or not. So this is my 9 stones framework. And we start at the bottom with a big stone. And each stone stacks nicely on the bottom one until we get to the top. And you can see from the shape of this pyramid, you couldn't invert it, right? You couldn't start with a small little stone and then put a big one on top because it would topple. That's why we look at this framework like this. And today we are talking about 3 of these stones because of time pressure. And we'll start with mindset, money story, and vision. So Paul has taken us through the vision. What's your vision for your money? How are you as a person handling your money? Like he said, do you plan it? Do you spend it? And incidentally, I'm a blue person. My second value is green, so I'm not red or yellow. So those are my lower values. And it makes sense for me because I like to budget. I like to help people with their money. I love to get structure. I love to automate things that it's peace of mind. You know, you don't have to worry. It's like when your salary comes in and you think, oh, may the best debit order win, you know? That's not what we want. So the structure is important, especially for me as a blue person. Now, you can't change your money habits until you change how you think about money. And we have to think, how did we grow up? What's your first money memory? Can I ask you? What's your first money memory?
I got pocket money.
Yep.
From my dad. And I just, like a kid, I just blew it.
Yeah, we got pocket money and we went to the cafe down the corner and we spent everything. I remember I had a little bank book from Nedbank and I once saved 14 cents. Now I'm giving my age away, but 14 cents and I felt so rich. And it was such a pretty little book encouraging youth to save money. It had a little tree and little circles and you could put in your money stuff in there. I loved it. And that's where my blue comes out, right? Now, what were the money stories in your household? Did your parents talk about money in front of you?
Money doesn't grow on trees.
Money doesn't grow on trees.
But it does.
Yeah. So think a bit of how your upbringing could influence your money story as well. It's important. My parents are both from Germany. They were born after World War II. There was nothing. They were dirt poor. They often had to stand in queues for hours and hours and hours just to get food from, the source where they handed it out. And that impacted them in their life. My mother is so frugal, she'll wash out the Rama dish and use it again and again and again and again. She's got money to spend on Tupperware, but she'll use the Rama dish over and over and over. My dad, on the other side, same story, same background, but he, as soon as he's got money, he spends it. Right, so the money story, although the origins are similar, it affects every person differently. And that's important to understand about yourself. How are you impacted by your money story? And then, who made the financial decisions in your house? Do you know?
My dad.
Your dad, yes. And traditionally, even these days, it's the husband. The wife says, oh, my husband handles everything, I'm fine. Until it's not. Until he makes a bad decision or something happens. COVID happened. So we all should be involved in our money stories. And your vision becomes your why. How do you want to retire one day? Jaco will speak about retirement. But do you see yourself living the same life? Do you want to retire somewhere else? Do you want to sit on a beach and sip cocktails all day? You need to know because you need to plan for it. Any questions about the first stone? Okay. Then we'll get to the second stone. Now this is a big stone and it has a lot of parts. First is, it's about money basics. Do you have a spending plan, also known as a budget? You can't plan what you don't know you have. A budget seems very limiting and constricting, but it's actually not. It gives you freedom to plan for the things that you want to buy, that are in line with your values. If you, sir in the red shirt, if you want a new car, you can't afford it now, but are you going to make a plan to save for it or to make a plan to buy it one day? That should be in your budget. Your car fund should be in your budget. If you like to travel a lot, your holiday fund should be in your budget. All right? It's important to have some sort of medical plan or hospital plan because life happens, we get sick. You don't want to use your credit card to go to hospital. You'll pay that forever and ever and ever. So you need something. And something is better than nothing. Start small. There's medical plans or medical insurance that start with 300 Rand, 400 Rand, 500 Rand. It's affordable, but it will protect you from a lot of life's things that you can't control. Household items insurance. Paul is using his laptop. He works on it every day. It's part of his business. If that fell down and it was damaged and he didn't have insurance, he'd have to use his credit card, most likely, to buy a new one. So insurance, also again, a little is better than nothing, just to get the basics covered that you need every day. A valid will. Everybody over 18 should have a will. Who's got one? Hands. And it's important because anything can happen without you knowing what's happening. The bus could lose control and, you might not make it. And the problem is, without a will, the government decides what to do with your money. And it takes years and years and years and years. So your loved ones won't see that money for a long, long time. A will is not summoning death or tempting fate or anything like that. It's a love letter to your family. So anybody here who hasn't got one, that should be your number one priority, all right? next year, when we have the session again, I want your hands up. Funeral cover. South Africans love funeral cover. It should be for you and your spouse and your children and your parents. I don't believe in covering all the uncles and aunties and nephews and nieces. It's not necessary. And then we don't want to impress people we don't like when we die. God doesn't care how you're buried, right? Please don't take the most expensive plan. It's not necessary. Just the basics. The basics are better than nothing, but don't spend your money on funeral plans. Credit score. A credit score is a measure on how safe you are to borrow money. It tells the bank, okay, this guy will pay back his debt and he's low risk, so we can give him a good interest rate. And knowing your credit score and working actively on it if it's not very high, it will save you money in the future. So it's important to know. Now, there are credit bureaus where you get your report once a year, and there are apps that you can download. ClearScore is one of them. You can check it every day, every month, every year, whenever you need to, and keep working on your credit score. One day you want to buy a house, you need a bond, that will save you money. And then lastly, understand your perks at work. If you are full-time employee at a company, often you have a pension fund, and part of that pension fund often is group life cover or a funeral plan or something. It's important that you go to HR and understand what that is, so that you don't insure yourself twice. It often has life cover, so you could save some money with other things. And if you have a pension fund and life cover at work, make sure your beneficiaries are up to date. That means as soon as should something happen to you, they know who needs to get that money. Okay. And then just a couple of non-negotiables. This is my list, but you can make your own. Pay your credit card in full every month. With the perks that we get for using credit cards these days, it's nice to use a credit card. You get miles, you get e-bucks, you get U-counts. But pay off that credit card every month. That way you save all that interest and you don't get into a bad habit. You've heard this before, live within your means. Don't spend money you don't have. We should all do that, and we don't. So that's why the credit card companies are as big as they are. And then, like I said, don't try to impress people you don't like with money you don't have. Emergency fund. This is close to my heart, because when I was retrenched, if I hadn't had an emergency fund, I would have had to cash in my pension or do all sorts of tricks just to survive, to be able to put food on the table and so on. An emergency fund breaks the debt cycle. So my advice, and everybody's situation is different, build a little emergency fund before you aggressively pay down debt. Because if your geyser bursts, or if your car suddenly needs new tires because you've lost 2 tires in a pothole, your emergency fund is there to cover you. And you don't have to use your credit card again because you want to pay it off. All right, so how much? Something is better than nothing. You can start small, keep it consistent, then maybe your first goal could be 10,000. You can buy four tires with 10,000. Well, not big tires. Maybe motorcycle tires, I don't know. But it certainly covers you for life's events that could happen. Once you've got that in place, try to build it out to have 3 to 6 months living expenses. And I say there, your noodle budget. What do I mean with a noodle budget? That's the money you would need if you only ate 2-minute noodles, you didn't go out, you didn't buy champagne, just that money to survive for as long as needed until you get a new job or something. Just cover that. While you're unemployed, you don't need parties and fancy stuff. Just keep your basics covered. And then the advice is keep it in a high yield savings account. That means high interest. A money market account or something like that. You can do your own research to get the best interest that you can with your bank or a savings plan or something like that. Great. Any questions so far? Then due to time, we'll just jump quickly on the other stones. Insurance safety net. Now, we've spoken about household insurance. This is a different insurance. This is life cover, disability cover, dreaded disease cover. This protects you from, if you are the breadwinner in the family, or you are the main income source, that protects you from letting your family down. It supplies you your salary or part of your salary while you either get better, if you're sick, or something happened to you, like an accident or a stroke or anything like that. So it's quite important, and again, even basic coverage is better than nothing. Then we go to debt freedom. So banks and credit card companies make a lot of money from our debt. And we don't want that. We want to keep our money for ourselves. So it's important to pay off debt as aggressively as possible once you've got the other stones in place. Free yourself from debt, because if you don't need it, you can invest it into other things. And you can sleep better. Savings and investments. Now we get to the juicy part. And we should all have a savings account. We should all have a tax-free savings account where we save for our future, for things that we want to experience one day. We can even think during the year, when we have some extra little bit of cash, we can put that away for the school fund for next year, or a holiday fund. Don't waste that money that's left over. Save it for a specific goal that supports your values. And again, from Psychology of Money, savings can be created by spending less. Earning more, obviously, but also spending less. You can spend less if you desire less. And if you desire less, you'll care less about what people think of you. That's a very important peace of mind, actually, in your brain. Okay, retirement readiness. Jaco will speak more about retirement, how we approach it. But one day your body will want to rest. And let me tell you, SASSA is not a retirement plan. It really isn't. You will maybe buy groceries for a week, not even a month, and never mind the rent. So really, don't leave this. The sooner you start, the sooner compounding kicks in. But I think, Jaco, you will mention that as well, right? Estate and wealth transfer. So now you're at a stage, you have some money, you have some savings. What do you want to do with that should you pass on? Or when you pass on? Do you want it to go to your family? So that's an important part, to make sure that your will is up to date, your estate is planned, your last wishes are known to your family. You don't want your poor family who's grieving for you when you die to go look for your will, or to wonder, do you want cremation or burial? What do we do now? It's so important just to leave clear instructions for afterwards. And then generosity and legacy. When I get to a retirement age, I want to help more people. I want to be in that position where I can do things for free. I don't have to charge. I can help the next generation. I can share my wisdom and knowledge that I've gained over the years with other people. And But we need to plan for that, right? You don't want to sit at home not being able to afford petrol money to go to an event or something like that. So important. So let's recap. Your mindset and vision, rewrite your money story. Find out what's if you have a scarcity mindset or something like that that you can work on. There are so many books to read, so the library should be your best friend. Your money basics, if you don't track it, you can't improve it. You've heard that. That's a management principle. It's well known. You need to know what you have and what you don't have, and then you can work on that. Emergency fund, that's your buffer. It protects you against more debt and things like that. So, my challenge to you, pick one of these stones that we discussed and work on it. And then you do the thing. Please, you will just thank yourself, your future self, and your family will thank you. And thank you, that's my story. So here's my QR code if you want to scan it. I have a newsletter that I send out on a Monday with different topics about finance, easy to understand. You can sign up, you can visit my website and learn more. And if ever you have questions, my email address is there. You can send me an email or a WhatsApp anytime. And this is the thank you from Money Smart Week. We are grateful for the opportunity and we value that you've taken time out to come and listen to us. And now I can hand over to Jaco. Thank you very much.